Hi there. I'm Francie White. I'm a Feldenkrais practitioner and a somatic experiencing practitioner here in Eugene, Oregon. And what I have for you today is one of my little 5-minute Feldies. It's a short, 5 to 10-minute video lesson that reinforces a longer lesson. And this one is called Flexible Ribs. So please come to lie on your backs. And just notice how your body is making contact with the floor. And this may change by the end of the lesson. So just notice your upper body and your lower body, what parts of you are making contact, what parts of you aren't. And after you get a pretty good sense of that and you kind of landed here on the floor, then come to lie on one side. And just choose a side, it doesn't matter which one. And come with your knees about 90 degrees. And start to notice how your ribs are lying against the floor. And see if you can notice where the ribs come away from the floor, where there's less pressure on the ribs, and where there's more. And just kind of notice it. And now, see if you can press just a little bit farther into the floor with your ribs. And this will be probably around the middle part of your ribs, under your arm. And it doesn't have to be a big movement. It just has to be just slightly increasing the pressure of your ribs on the floor. The nervous system does not learn with big movements. It learns with small, slow movements. So that's why this is so important to keep it small. Small is big. So in order to help this movement, start to lift your foot up a little bit towards the ceiling. And notice how this movement comes up through your hips, and it lifts your hip up just a little bit like this. And see if you can feel that your ribs are pressing into the floor a little better. Just see if it's easier by allowing your lower leg to help you. So I say the foot bone is connected to the head bone, and the foot bone is connected to the rib bone. And then you've done that a few times, then pause. And now from the other side, bring your arm around your head and hold your top arm, the hand on your opposite ear. And now just lift your head a few times and bring it back down. And let go completely when you let your head down. Otherwise it's going to start to strain. So just lifting it up. And now notice what's happening in your ribs. Can you feel how your ribs are pressing more into the floor? And this is probably going to be more the lower ribs. So just do that a few times, noticing your ribs pressing into the floor. Now the purpose of this is to give us more flexible ribs, which improves our breathing, but it also just improves our posture and our sense of well-being. When our rib cage is flexible, we can breathe. And now let that go and rest for a moment. I've lost my little thing. I don't think I need it. And rest. And now do both at the same time. So lift your foot and your head. And now notice, where is it pressing into the floor? And again, it doesn't have to be a big movement, just a little one. And then when you're ready, leave your head there and now lift and lower your foot. And notice what's happening in your ribs. And noticing what's happening on this side too. As you're pressing your lower side into the floor, this is pushing down. So this side is shortening and these ribs have to soften to let go. And then let that go for a moment. This is a little straining on the neck, so take lots and lots of breaks. And now do it again. So lift that up, and now lift and lower your head. And notice what's happening in your rib cage, where you're shortening on the top side, lengthening on the other side, and that side is pressing. And then let that go. And rest for a moment. Just notice how your ribs are lying on the floor now. And maybe more of your ribs are lying on the floor. And now, do the original movement where you're just pressing your ribs. And can you feel how your head and your hips are now coming in to help you a little bit, where your head and your hips are coming a little bit towards each other? So they have learned how to help us with this movement with our ribs. So we've connected our hips and our head to our ribs. And then let that go, come to lie on your back, and notice your contact with the floor again. And just see if more of you is now making contact with the floor. And then come up to sitting and eventually up to standing. And just notice what you feel like now. My ribs just feel much more open than they did when I first started the lesson. So be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Integrated Self Eugene. And also have a website, integratedselfeugene.com, where I have these lessons available on /lessons. And so I hope you have a really great day today.